Welcome to another week of Half Serious. This week we're going to talk to Chris Fajo, older brother to David Fajo, whom I went to high school with. We were friends throughout high school, through college, after college, but then as life does, you have families, you have lives in different sides of the country, and you grow apart and don't talk all the time. But he will forever be one of the most self-driven people I have ever known. In high school, I was getting up at 4 a.m. to go train, either swim or lift weights. And usually on my route in, I would, feel sorry for myself to some degree because you're like, oh my God, I'm working so hard. Nobody else is working hard. Teenage shit. And I would see him running in combat boots before I even got there to lift weights. And he didn't have a coach telling him to do this either. He was just doing it because he knew what he wanted to accomplish after high school. He wanted to go be a SEAL. He wanted to go into BUDS, and damn, he did it. I wasn't ever present in this, but as far as I can tell, he fucking did it. I'm not going to go deep into a lot of this stuff because we're going to talk to Chris for about an hour here, but I will read some of his awards just to let you guys know how fucking awesome he was. Not that he needs any of these awards to show how awesome he was, because he was awesome before any of this stuff, but just to kind of solidify his participation and actions while he was a Navy SEAL. Chief Petty Officer Fajo was a highly decorated combat veteran with numerous awards, including 2 Bronze Star Medals with Valor, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Joint Service Commendation Medal with Valor, the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with Valor, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, 2 Combat Action Ribbons, 2 Presidential Unit Citations, a Joint Meritorious Unit Award, 4 Good Conduct Medals, the National Defense Service Medal, 2 Afghanistan Campaign Medals, 2 Iraq Campaign Medals, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and many other personal and unit decorations. And all that before he was 30. So, damn. But without going too much into everything as I usually do, I'm going to try to shut up, and here is his brother, Chris.
Yeah, we were actually going to put Dave at the Warrior exhibit in town.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to do it because doing what he did, I didn't want
to. But why?
Well, I mean, just, I don't know. I just kind of keep it secret.
What he's done?
Yeah.
But why would you? I mean, I'm jumping ahead, but why would you after?
I don't know. Just because I'm still a little nervous about some of the stuff that Dave showed right there. Where we're and then Navy calling, what do you know? I'm like, I don't know crap.
Yeah, I don't know a thing. Who what?
Because I mean, he did crap like that to me, but I kind of feel bad because, and he finally understood. It's like the last time he'd come to visit.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna make it. I said, bull crap. I said, you don't know what a Fajo is gonna do.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, I was so proud of him to do what he did. And that's the first smile I ever got, but it pissed him off pretty bad. But I said, guess what he just did? I didn't understand the severity of it at the time. But I was just so proud of him that he did what he wanted to do. He said, I don't want no acknowledgement of what I said, my bad. So after that, I kind of kept it,
Yeah.
So we would chit chat, talk. He's got a brother-in-law that's a officer in Rhode Island.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he showed him some footage from overseas. And he about threw up. So we go to the house and he's like, hey, you need to check out this dive, this jump. I'm like, okay, cool. So he gets it on the computer and everything like that. I'm going, and he starts off down with the signal. He jumps out of the plane, and all of a sudden I remember the screen just dropping. And it's over them overseas operating. And I'm looking at Jessica, and he's got this shit-eating grin like this. I said, what the fuck? He's still grinning. He's like, I told you wouldn't throw up. And I'm like, I said, what is this all about? And he told me, I'm like, I said, dude, that was wrong.
I test you. Well, that sounds accurate.
Yeah. And then it was bad because when we was at the chapel, it was either at the chapel or the bar, the guys were talking about him falling in a river of shit. I mean, when you looked at their night vision,
Yeah.
the terrain looked flat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there walking out, and all of a sudden I see the firearm go straight up in the air, and he's like, chest deep. And you never seen it move. I mean, the night vision goggles were like amazing. He said, just keep watching. And a firearm went straight up in there, and he's trying to get back as fast as he could. I said, what was that? He said, literally a river of shit.
He got it immediately. It was like, oh, my pee hole. It's a river of shit.
Oh, he was like, he said, luckily we carry the Under Armour stuff right there. So this, I was so. He said, but I carried it. There's a lot of, some of my tats and stuff like that. We couldn't really have identifying marks or nothing. Like I said, I had the Under Armour sleeves.
Well, when I met David, I think you were friends with my brother, or like I think that you were actually friends with family members before maybe I knew David. I can't remember when you got into the paintball stuff, but
I've been in paintball for a long time. Thomas, Dave, and Chris Kimbrough, we started our team, and we did leagues out there at Bear Claw. And we played, Dave and I played, and Dad played around the house. We knew nothing about chronographing or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So we were all on as hot as the guns could go, shooting each other as close as we could. And then we started learning tournament. And if Dave wasn't working at Walmart, we were playing leagues.
How old? Because I don't remember. I don't know. I think because the real conversations I had with him was when we were at the gym together, and I started figuring out what he was training for. He was the most excellent training partner one could have, since I was alone at the time training in a very small town that has no one to train with.
Yeah, I got you on that.
And he was the same way, so it was really cool because he was there to kind of push each other. Him with swimming, and then me with weights, since I lived so far from my team and everything. But when did he decide to go for the SEALs? Do you know when he decided? And what did you think about that?
Oh, I was happy for him. So honestly, I don't know when that transition changed. I know when he first started high school, I know he got lifting, got in really good shape. But I mean, us being military brats, Dad was an Army.
Yeah.
I mean, he's around it all the time. That's the only reason I didn't go, because I was the only way I could rebel against my dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, and then I realized when I started working, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
But as far as like military-wise, he never told me about that transition. But I want to say maybe his junior year, when he said he wanted to go really hard for it.
Yeah.
I think it's when he started doing cross country.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think my mom was a coach at cross country at the time.
And he did it for fun.
Yeah.
And so
Weirdo.
they're like, are you nuts? And I hated it because I was working. I couldn't go to none of his meets, but I always got to see him in the paper. And I'd always ask. And, but he said, dude, how about passed out? He said, but there was this guy right here. He said, Daniel McGarry as a rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I didn't even have to run hard, but I just kept my little pace.
Yep.
But man, there was this guy. It was somewhere around Nashville. He said, I was going to beat him. I misjudged the landmark. I about passed out before his dad had to carry me off the field. He said, I gunned it, but I thought it was going to be like the last stretch.
Yeah.
No. So I was for speed, and he was always distance. He did get me running. We did run 6-mile runs, but we run from our house to Quarters Crossroads and back. I ran it for a little while, and then I was like, I don't want to do this no more. But he got me up to running 6 miles. So, and when I was in school, I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd run 2 miles, and my legs felt like garbage. But he's seen stuff like that. But he got a little more better opportunities than I got with, because I was a basketball person. He was just we were both all around athletes, but he got a couple more opportunities to play basketball. And it may have been in junior high when it hit him, because I told him he quit basketball because coach pissed him off pretty good. I told him, you don't ever quit nothing. I said, I don't care what they do. You don't quit nothing. And I stayed on him. I was hard on him.
Yeah, you're big brother. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
And I mean, yeah, but I kind of look back and wish I would have done something a little bit different. But if I didn't, it wouldn't have pushed him where he was at then.
I wonder when he made that switch then, because because we were both in, what were we, juniors? When 9/11 happened? Juniors? Seniors? Juniors. No, seniors. We were seniors. All right. Sorry. I can't remember my own timeline. So I feel like that's actually when people would talk about the SEALs is after 9/11. Before then, nobody really knew what they were. So it's weird to me that he would want to do that beforehand. But I guess your dad being who he is, maybe he knew more about that stuff. You guys both did. The general public, I would guess. Is that kind of what happened? Or?
Well, I mean, Dad was fixing to go into Delta. Dad was fixing to fly. He already had his paperwork for Delta to fly helicopters. And then he injured his back. And then the military just kind of kicked him aside. Our grandfather was in World War II. Dad was in Army. And then I didn't want to go because like he said, he kept pushing it. I'm like,
yeah.
And then I realized that there's nothing here.
It's a hard realization because you make choices to be rebellious and then you're like, well, crap, now what do I do? I've done that with some stuff before and it's like, damn it. But no, well, I find happiness in what I've found.
I mean, I got almost 26 years, so.
Because you're close to retirement now, right?
It'll probably be a little bit right there just because my age right there, because I won't be able to enjoy my pension or nothing like that. So, I mean, with this job right here, I could probably stay a lot longer, but it's not as physical.
Yeah.
I'm basically looking at a computer, fixing a robot.
Well, there's some people I know that have chosen these paths that they thought would be great career-wise, and then they find out that they didn't get to have the focus on the family that they wanted. So I feel like it's a choice that you don't even know you're making at the time that you do. Family, work. It's hard to thrive in both of them.
Well, I mean, if it would have got any worse, I would have tried to find it. But the way Jessica thinks is, you've got a job.
Yeah,
you're getting paid good. I said, I know you're working a lot of hours, but I mean, his first 2 years I could see him come home. He'd just look at me like, "Who are you?" for a second, and I'm like, "No, I do not want this." But Jessica said, "Where are you going to find another job? That pays the bills." So.
How quick did he? I can't remember. How quick did he go off after high school?
Right after, because he went to Great Lakes right after he graduated. He had to wait. I think he had to wait a year, or he did his the SEALs contract at MEPS. So they tested him for that, and then when he went to Great Lakes, he had to do it again to see if he was fit enough to do it. But what was bad about that, or funny about it, because he was squad leader. So anybody under right there, they had to train the way he had to train.
Oh.
And the commanding officers were like, "Hey, I know you like to exercise, and I know you like this right here." So, but he's like, whatever, just whatever,
Yeah, he was. Oh, and not to go back, but when he joined the summer league, just to be better at swimming, it was back when I was coaching that one of the summer leagues, and he came in, and now he was not a strong swimmer, not when he started, but damn, by the time summer ended, he was like, got it. Dude, tell me what to do. Got it done. Boom. And he was a freaking strong swimmer by the end of the summer. I've never seen somebody have such a quick turnaround on that kind of stuff before. So it was awesome. But I guess finding the grit to go through hardships just kind of came naturally, at least on the sports realm and then from, mentality realm as well, I guess. Family trait, maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, I wanted to play basketball more than anything. I was one of the kids at Lincoln County, had all the talent, just couldn't play. They wouldn't want me to. They didn't want me playing. I remember my senior year, Tiffany Woosley was there. She said, "Hey, what?" I said, "Coach is giving you an opportunity to go to Murfreesboro for camp." And she said, "Give me 2 weeks, and I'll have you a little more prepared for this."
Yeah.
She said, "But I'm doing it Pat Summitt style."
What's Pat Summitt?
Pat Summitt was the coach at Tennessee, the women's coach.
Oh, okay.
Woosley played for her.
Oh, okay.
So Woosley beat me for 2 weeks, and then we get up there to Murfreesboro. So we're with the boys and girls are both having camp there. And Woosley's asking the coach, "Why is he not playing?" I said, she's like, "You're going to run him. He's not going to quit." I said, "He'll run until he either passes out or he's going to throw up and keep going." I got to have the freshman a chance to play. And she's like, "He's better than any freshman you've got." I mean, he's going to be a senior year, so he don't even care about playing time. I mean, the same way with Dave was. And it's like now I'm putting myself through hardships to try getting back where I can have family again.
When he did go off and because I'm sure you know, but we talked throughout buds and everything like that. So, and now looking back, I'm like, God, I was such a little bitch. I was complaining about like collegiate athlete, like getting to basically just be a glorified student, swimming in college and crap, and then he's in buds, and I'm all like, oh, I'm so tired. And he's like, yeah, me too. At the time, not realizing what buds actually was. I feel like, Tess, you're being a little bitch. Stop complaining. If I could talk to, 19, 20-year-old me is what I'd say. But yeah, he would fill me in on all this stuff, and I didn't. Again, we were pen pals and talked to each other for I don't, for a long time, and then it kind of fell off when we both started our families on opposite sides of the country. Damn near, it felt like. So, but was there a point in there like where do you think that he always enjoyed it, or do you think that you saw like a shift in him at some point?
I seen the shift. I kind of felt like we grew apart. We didn't, but it's just the way that the Navy had trained him to be able to handle any situation. It was just I seen a different man, and I was like, I didn't know if it was. I mean, what he was doing, I was like, he don't want to be around me. So I just kind of the way I felt, and I'm like, if he calls, I'm up for whatever.
Yeah.
Anytime he'd come in, he's like, hey, we're gonna go drinking. You drink with me? I'm like, yep. I was like, anything you want to do, I'm all for it. When he found out that Jessica and I were dating, we went out, and I come back, and there's beer bottles all in the trash can, and there's beer bottles wrapped around the pool table, and he's working out on the total gym in the game room.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the hell? I said, he's what? I said, you had people over and didn't even tell us? He said, no, that's all me. So I was getting ready for a paintball tournament in 2 weeks. So one of the games that we had, we could set up the field the way we're, but he's like, what's the substitution? He's like, it's bullshit. And he had the creepiest smile. He looked at Jessica, when Jessica turned around, he's giving that creepy smile. He's like, so he likes you. Actually, Jessica's the only one that's ever made him feel uncomfortable too. So that's really funny. So,
I love that.
Dave didn't realize how young she was, but she was 19.
Yeah.
And when we first started dating, he bought her a nice bottle of wine for Christmas. She's like, I'm not 21. He's like, whoops.
How old were you at the time? I don't even remember. I know you guys had an age difference. I don't remember.
I was 27.
Oh yeah, look at you wrapping cradles and stuff.
I freaked out when I had to go meet her mom.
Oh
and
yeah,
I was like, she's an adult. I'm going.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. I mean, true.
But she was in college. But I wanted her to finish college before we got married, so I waited until she finished. So, but yeah, Dave liked this one because when I see that smile, that little smirk, I was like, he likes you. So she's like, it didn't look like. I was like, you gotta know Dave.
Yeah, you gotta read him. He was a shitbag, but I loved him. He was one of my, I'm friends with a lot of assholes. Most of my friends are assholes in the best of ways, and he was definitely in that category. So when I don't even know what I can ask on this, because I know he went and did a whole bunch of stuff, but did he ever vent to you, like if stuff haunted him in a roundabout way? Because I know a lot of the stuff he couldn't talk about.
He didn't, but he did call one time and told us only time he'd ever called and was concerned about us. Has he been watching the news? It's like, no. He said, you did see about the bin Laden raid? I'm like, yeah. He said, well, they told us that that's going to give us medals. We didn't want it. We just want to come back home. Well, he said, dumbass Biden told where we reside on national TV. He said, they're not coming for us. He said, they're coming, that'll be for y'all and mom. I told him they'll roll out the way they come in. Because I said, I appreciate it, but he was very concerned about what had happened. That's the only time he ever called about But as far as like his vent, it was daughter. He'd sit in his little chair, and he'd just be like staring off into nothing. And then he's like, "Go take this apart." That's what she'd tell him. She's like, "I don't want to take her. I don't want to take her." And she's like, "I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Go take." And then she said he'd be out there for however long. He'd come back home, and he would be. But I always told him, I said, "If you ever need anything, so just I'm right here, dude."
Yeah.
That really surprised me about how he treated her.
And that's his daughter?
Yes. So I remember when he was in his first team, and he said one of his buddies right there, he said his kid was around and always called him Uncle Dave, right here.
Yeah.
But he's like, finally got him to quit wetting the bed. He said, "How'd you do that?" I threw their butt in a cold shower, and and David actually had empathy for the child.
Yeah.
He said, "I remember it was like when we went through cold weather, but anytime we got to visit, to see him with her was like the most precious thing I ever seen, because I seen him raise his voice to her one time. We'd get to eat out with him all the time. And there was a humongous pet store in Virginia Beach. And so she was seeing some other kids. And he's like, "Sweetie, you gotta go." I'm like, I thought he was gonna grab her up and just, "Sweetie." But just seeing him with her was like the best thing in the world. But of course, when she'd find a way in Uncle Chris's lap. So any pictures you have, it's her always sitting there messing with the phone. Or Dave said he had her in jiu-jitsu. And they had some actually MMA fighters out of Virginia Beach. We was at the house, and she said, "I want to put you on a armbar, Uncle Chris." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like, she's 5'6". I said, "I'm not worried about it."
Yeah.
Well, I rolled over, she pulled out, and all of a sudden she's bumping like back here. I'm like,
"Oh yeah, on that joint."
I was like, "She ain't tall enough." And I said, she starts moving up the arm. I said, "I'm pulling the arm out from her." And Dave's watching, and all of a sudden she did, and her hips would hit my elbow. I was like, "Oh." So
I'm not getting tapped out by a 6-year-old.
So I looked at her, I said, he's like, "What's the matter?" I was like, "Nope." She done had the hand was opened up, and she made sure she knew where she was hitting with the hips.
How old was he when his daughter was born?
Well, he was 30 when he passed, so 24. She was 6 when
Oh, damn.
he passed.
I only know because my kid was born like a week after he died. But so that's why I try to do the math, and I always forget what the years difference is. But God, so does she remember him?
Oh yeah,
good.
It kind of messes her up because me and him look so much alike.
Yeah,
but yeah, she won't ever forget her dad. So she's too much like her dad.
Good and bad.
No. It's good.
Hard-headed, but in a most excellent way, most productive way. Because you can also be hard-headed in a bad way, but he was always very productive with it.
Yeah, she's an athlete. She swam. She did competition swimming.
Oh, nice.
She's softball right now. She'll be graduating next year. So,
holy crap, that's crazy. Damn. Yeah, 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my dog's gonna jump in your lap. He always comes up on this podcast. He's like, "Oh, we're podcasting right now? I need to get up here." You can just kick him off if you don't want him.
Oh, I say he's good.
God, so she's graduating high school. That's crazy. Damn.
He's a junior now. Yeah.
Oh shit.
She'll be starting seniors.
I never knew that David had medical issues with anything until it was way too late. I found out through the grapevine that it was like, hey, keeping it from people for reasons and stuff. So I didn't know till it was much later. But because nobody really knows what was his diagnosis, and then what was how long did the battle last for that?
So when it first happened, he was overseas. He was complaining about headaches.
Mm-hmm.
So they did an MRI or a scan on him overseas, and they go, "You got to get out of country now." So he had on his frontal lobe, had a tumor. They sent him to Walter Reed. They took care of it. he is remission for a couple of years, and then and I even told him, I tried giving him something easy to do. He's like, nope, nope, nope. And he could come back and it hit him in the cerebellum. So it was the type that could not, I think the it was one of those types up there that not many people get. And the survival rate was not, but they sent that the Navy spent lots of money trying keeping him, going. But I remember he went to different places for different chemo, for different, different types of help. And when I got to see him, I didn't recognize him because we got pictures of, his wife and daughter, and I said, "Who's the?" And Jessica's like, "Do you know?" I was like, and I'd looked at him. I was like, I could see his eyes. I'd never seen him heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Is that Dave?" She's like, "Yep." And it kind of hit me a little bit. I'm like, "All right." So we got to go Memorial Day weekend. They renewed their vows, but having to see him on a hospice bed was real hard. They said he was going through the harshest chemo that anybody could endure. So he was going to seizures, but we went to visit mom, dad, Jessica and myself, and his wife said, "Can you please wheel him in?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll do whatever you need for him." I said,
Yeah.
Whatever he needs that I can help." I said, "I'm here." And of course, him knowing who it was, he said, "I'm going to, I had to wheel him, get him over to the door." He's like, "I'm going in backwards." I looked down and said, "Shut up, you're in the door, aren't you?" and he looks
criticizing to the end.
He looks up at me like, he's grinning. And then we're sitting at the table. All the families there, his wife's family's there, and they're doing dinners and everything. And he goes, and she had to put a patch. He said, "If you get double vision," he said, "What's your sob story?" I said, "I ain't got one, dude. You're my brother. I hate to see you in this shape. I ain't giving you sympathy, man." He started grinning
because he'd be mad about it.
And also, he kind of scared me because they fixed those little sliders. And he went off, like, staring off into nothing. I said, "Oh, crap." I was like, take. And mom goes, "How many sliders do you want?" And, like, he's still looking at me. He's, like, staring off into nothing. I'm like, so I'm trying to get his, just any movement.
Yeah.
And his eyes are still doing this. And I'm like, "Oh, crap." And all of a sudden I hear he goes, "Damn douchebag, doctor's gonna give my fucking hand biscuit." I'm going, "What?" And mom's like, "What?" He says, like, "Nothing." He starts grinning again. I'm like, "Do not do that to me again." But that was the only thing that come out of his mouth. I'm like, "Dude." Dave.
Oh, okay.
And he said it just like so. I'll give you a quick scenario. I'm going to try to get off track.
Yeah.
So when he come home, he would do stuff like, you've been to our house. Remember the chairs that sat by in the living room?
Yeah.
So he was up always late at night. He was watching Adult Swim was on. And I was like, "How them infomercials?" I said, "Dude, are you all right?" And I was like, he never did nothing. A little joke that we had, he said, "You better keep, sleep with one eye open, so I'm a teabag you." I got close, I said, "I guess you didn't want teabag," So he heard something, by the time he grabbed my hand, goes, wham, and slams it on the arm. And I'm like, I bounce off, I'm like, "Oh." He said, "You're gonna do what?" I'm like, "Nothing." So I had to go into where I had bruised head. Mom's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Nothing."
Tried to teabag him, it didn't work.
And but he did. He slammed me, and I'm like, he said, "You were sleeping with your eyes." I was like, "Oh, you were sleeping with your eyes." He said, "Yep." I said, "Man," but he knew immediately
what you was gonna do.
Yeah. And I said, next time I'll be quiet." He says, "Nope." But that was one thing that it kind of scared me because he would be home and he'd have nightmares.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't mess with him or not, be able to, But I talked to a lot of the friends.
Mhm.
They said that he had a dream so bad one time that he almost ripped a door off a safe, but he thought a girl was burning in a building. And he said he almost had a door off of a gun safe
Mm.
and ripped it off. And
Strong.
yes,
Mm.
but just little stuff that we've done. I mean, I could tell a difference in that. Just
in him not being as playful, or him.
it was just his. He was playful.
Yeah.
It was just a different look. Like if we go to Virginia Beach,
Mhm.
I'd go out with him. I said, "Hey, with you?" And he's like, "Quit doing that," because I could look at their persona
Mhm.
and knew that they had done something.
Yeah.
He's like, "Stop!" I'm like, "My bad." I said, "I can't help it." I said, "I see you. I see y'all's persona.
Mhm.
I know what it looks like."
Yeah.
He said, "Not everybody can do that."
Yeah. I mean, obviously, totally different scale, but cops can tell between the rookies and the seniors, no matter the age, because there's just a slight difference in them. Of course, that's vastly different from that crew. I just mean that's the only parallel I can have. But I will say that the last time I talked to him when I was supposed to meet him in Nashville, when I didn't because I couldn't take off work because
That's when he was in Fort Campbell.
yeah.
Yeah, he was doing parkour up there at
He was
Campbell.
doing parkour?
They were doing air assault.
Oh.
And he said the farthest he could come down was Murfreesboro. His dad had a picnic for the company picnic, and we picked him up at one of the biggest hotels up there on downtown in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and you can find this on YouTube too. So they were doing training. Said, the city of Chicago thought that we declared martial law on them. And he said, we're up there. And he said, we're got a pilot flying through the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
And he said, he's flying low. And he said, I come back to my hotel and he's coming down. He's like, did you see those Army guys right there with their guns on? He's like, nope, I ain't see nothing. But he said, you can find it on. And I was asking, is that some of y'all's team members? He said, no, there's a company we use. And he said, we had to go overseas. And see, we were flying very low through the skyscraper. He said, overseas, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
A lot of tall buildings. Matter of fact, you remember Garcia?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the
Josh?
high school friend? Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh was in the Marines. I didn't recognize him at first. And that's what I was going to tell you. There's some things right there that my head still has a mental block.
Mm-hmm.
I might remember stuff and I might remember people, but then sometimes after he passed, there's some stuff I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me a minute. But I seen him at the gym. And he said, I seen him at one of our fobs. I said, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, we was overseas.
No shit.
He said, they wasn't there that night, but next morning there was like him and 6 others. He said there was this huge building that we spent all day trying to get, hostiles out. He said they come in. He said, I've never seen they cleared that building in 30 minutes. I don't know how they found the route to get to the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
He said they cleared it. Garcia said they cleared that building in 30 minutes. 6 guys. We've been working all day the day before. But he said they was not there that night. But next morning they woke up in his fob.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. So he's like,
that's cool. Did he get to talk to him?
He talked a little bit.
I don't think I'd recognize half these people. I broke off after high school, and I don't even know if I'd recognize any of these guys anymore.
Well, I thought it was somebody else, and he told me who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, so I remember because y'all were always at the house.
Yeah, went camping and stuff together all the time.
Yep.
Oh, damn. You throwing me back? You throwing names at me that I graduated. I'm like, ooh, crap.
But I was friends with most of them.
Yeah, you were, yeah. Same crowd, but damn. How many years did he spend active as a SEAL? I guess I could look. It's up there, maybe.
Well, he was there maybe 10 years. Because he was 18 when he went in, and then...
that's insane to me to think about.
And he'd already done 10 tours by the time that he got out.
Do you think he would have kept going?
Yep. he wouldn't make a career. But the thing about him was the way that I was in paintball was like I was the old man on the group,
Mm-hmm.
and I always felt like I was not good enough to play with like Forrest, and Dave felt the same way when
No,
he was in
anybody could be my brother. Jeez.
Forrest got really. I'm not gonna lie, Forrest got really good.
I'm just always gonna give my brother shit. Doesn't matter. He could win an Olympic gold medal and set records. I'll still be like, God, Forrest, get it together.
But he didn't feel like he was sometimes good enough to be, and the younger guys looked up to him. Like I seen that when we was. I learned a lot when we was at the bar, talking to the guys.
That's where you always learn the best stuff.
Well, matter of fact,
and the best lessons.
Yeah. So we was at when Dave and his wife renewed their vows.
Mm-hmm.
That was at one of their friends' house, and I looked back and I seen one of the older teammates. And he's got that look, and I'm like, crap. And just like, what? I'm going. I said, he's staring me down like. I said, surely God, he would not do something like that. And he's continued to like stare me down. I'm like, I seen that look.
Yeah.
I said, no. So he comes up to me. I'm just trying to figure. I said, it's uncanny how you and your brother look so much alike.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, I had to look at you and I was like, it is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they were all probably the most humble men that I've ever come across. And it was like when I asked Dave about pistol shooting. Dave was probably one of the better pistol shooters on the team. And I said, hey, can you teach me? He said, yeah, but you ain't gonna like it. I'm like, dude, you don't. So he beat my hands, but he was always there for me. But I will say this right here. So I told you I thought we grew apart.
Yeah.
So I was talking with one of his buddies. He was at the edge of the bar. And he goes, you got your brother through buds. And Dave was worried about rolling back. He had stress fractures in his feet, had a couple of injuries that should have made him roll back.
Yeah.
But he pushed through. So he said, I was like, no, man. I said, he's his own person. He said, no. He said, we kept saying, my brother never quit, so why the fuck should I about? My legs got so weak. I grabbed onto the bar. I mean, I held my composure as best I could through everything. But like I said, I remember grabbing the bar and like almost dropping. And he said, yeah, you got your brother through a lot of crap.
God.
I mean, he even told like, he had a lot of funny stories. He said when he did sniper training, he went through that. He said, I almost dehydrated, but I said, I hit my mule, and I said, it leaked. He said, we had to be a point A to point excursion. As I ripped my mule on, as I lost all my water.
Oh, God.
He said, I'm sitting there, we're going slow as crap. And he said, I ain't got no water. I got nothing. And, but he said that he got to do anything, and even the commanding officer said anything he could get done, he was going to do it. Well, the time he come home, we were doing, you talking about him swimming.
Yeah.
I enjoyed swimming with fins. It was harder. I mean, yes, I was going faster, but it was harder on my legs, ankles. So he was like, we're going to do water tag. And the old ladies were doing water aerobics. So he and I were doing tag. So basically what it was, you grabbed the ankle and you'd leapfrog over and you stayed underwater.
Oh, God, I hated when people did that shit. They grab your ankles.
And he said, you can stay underwater a long period of time if you don't think about it.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing. We were pulling each other, and I'd swim for him a little bit, I'd pull him, and we just kept constantly we'd see a wall, we'd come back. I mean, watching him swim was impressive.
Yeah. He took to it quick. I just enjoyed it because that was the only place I could bully him.
Oh, I remember because he said, by the time I jump in, I said, you are already down at the other end, kick flipping and coming back. He says, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with that.
I was like, he beats my ass on literally fucking everything. So I was like, haha, welcome to my arena, motherfucker. And then I could only bully him for so long before he surpassed me, and just plain endurance for the most part and just not quitting. So did you get to visit him a lot, though, in Virginia?
We did not. The first time we got to visit, he was still in Actually, Jessica and I, we went, it was in Norfolk,
Mm.
and I think they were living in a townhouse, but we went to visit for the first time. It was just him. He said, when we go where we'll go out to eat and stuff like that, go to movies. Uh, but, and then I think maybe a couple more times after that.
Yeah.
I know Jessica got her first tattoo while we was out there.
That tracks, yeah.
But I mean, we was doing a cookout, and as before he got sick or anything like that, but he did cook out, go eat, just hang out, just family, stuff like that. But he always had to show me his collection of firearms, and
I will so regret not taking him up on learning how to shoot from him, though. I'm like, God damn, I would have been beat to shit, but that would have been really fun.
I didn't do a lot of rifle, but I wanted to see what he could do to rifle, and it blew my mind. And he didn't have no optics on his Bushmaster, and I said, "What can you do?" And he was already putting stuff out there, so he put like a 2-liter bottle at probably 50, 60 yards, and it had a small 20 ounce at 100 yards. I said, "What can you do?" And he said, "Well, I could be here, and I'll be running to the building. As I'm running, I'm hitting that 2-liter in the midair." So he got down, and I'm hearing first shot. He pops it up, and I'm here, just
damn.
He's hammering that trigger.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I almost lose count. He's firing so fast, but he's running like he's trying to get to cover, but he's keeping that bottle's basically spinning, like it's spinning in midair.
Wow, that's cool.
And I finally kind of catch up where what round's going down, and all of a sudden, boom! I see a little 20 ounce water bottle. Water shoots up. I'm going,
wow.
I said, that is crazy.
Yeah, and people don't understand how difficult. I mean, like, people listen to things, are like, oh, whatever, I could totally do that. It's like, you've never shot a day in your life, then if you think that shit is any kind of easy or attainable, if you don't have, one, just natural skill, and two, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of training. Because, I mean, when I would just walk and shoot in just regular, here's a cue, shoot at it, it's amazing I just didn't shoot myself, because that shit is way harder than it looks.
Yes.
So, damn, that's cool. That's amazing. But very Dave.
Well, I mean, it was like, so a little bit after, I think it was the day after his funeral, one of his buddies took me to a spot where they went a lot. So he was known for shooting perfect games for skeet. And you think of Virginia Beach, it's like, Virginia is one of them spots right there, you're like, there's no way this is out here.
No.
But he took me out there, and first time I ever shot skeet out of house. So we were shooting high, low, whatever. And even the owner was like, he's asking the guy, and he's like, who's your buddy? He's like, this is Dave's brother. So the guy's like, he said, you actually shoot? He said, but Dave's known for, he said, they're known for shooting perfect games. I said, I wouldn't even know how to begin. But Dave always said, he said, if everything happens, you'll be taken care of. So the guys in the community will, which I mean, if there's someone in town, if I can get a hold of them, oh yeah, we'll go, we'll go eat, whatever, what. So I never understood that until I started meeting the guys. So like, your brother saved me in a couple situations, because we was at the museum. And I said, Forrest, have you been here a couple times? Like, I said, I've been here a few times. So where's the bathroom? Yeah. And one of the guys is like, hey, yelling across the room, like, you're fucking Dave's brother. I'm like going, and I'm already getting a vibe, like, this is not cool, man. And he's working his way through the crowd. I was like, Forrest, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. So he grabs me and, like, embraces me, and I'm going, I said, dude, I said, it's cool and everything like that right there. I said, but the yell, I said, I didn't know what you was going to do.
Yeah.
I said, you're yelling, you're cussing. I said, I'm sensing. He said, oh, my bad. He said, we do it to him all the time. One of his best friends does acting now.
Yeah.
So he was a full contact fighter from West Virginia.
Oh, cool.
And so Dave, when he said, we first met, he goes, Dave's beating a bag. He's working a bag. He said, hey, you gonna go a couple rounds? And another one's like, man, he said, I get headaches. And he's like, all right, let's go back to, hitting the bag. So the other guy gets back and he's like, he just called me a bitch. So after that, they were like best of friends. He said, we'd be walking in to get cleaned up. One of us be behind doors, punch him in the nose. He'd punch the other one. So they're cleaning their nose, bloody nose, and they're like, sushi? Yep.
It's hard to describe. That's definitely friendship then.
But it just,
it's closeness.
But all the guys were like it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure. Yeah.
And matter of fact, I've got one of his, not his, but I got one of. So the only thing that I ever asked for was one of their bonus flags, which it was cool because Dave's yard had.
You say bonus flag?
Yeah, they're it's a skull and crossbones.
Oh, okay. No, I've never heard of that before.
But it's a flag that they carry. You ain't got that picture.
No.
Do you see? There's a picture with him in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's their bonus flag.
Oh, okay. So, never heard of a bonus flag before.
Yeah, that's what they were calling it. So all the teams have their own flag. Well, I asked that older officer or older team member. He said, "We'll see what we can do." Well, then I was talking to the liaison that handles all that. She says, "That's exclusive to those guys."
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I'm not asking for. I'm not.
Yeah. So
we go to the bar. The guy that tracked me down and gave me, a hug at the museum, he's like, he said, got you something. So what? So he handed it to me. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So it's in my man cave at the house. But then I did ask when we was at the museum, is it all right to wear anything of this? Because I bought a black flag hat, and then it's a patch, and under it there's got the trident. He said, you can wear whatever you want. If you have any problems, you call one of us. And what's bad about it is when I first come, I kind of wish I'd have reached out to like you or used Jessica a little bit more because I was a very rude individual. So like after that happened, I would see people at Walmart. Hey, Chris. I was like, did I speak to you? And I was like, no. I said, why the fuck you talking to me then? And I just go about my business.
After David passed?
Yep.
Yeah.
And like I should have reached out to some of y'all. Didn't want to. But I wore that black flag. I mean, I still got it. But I wore it to Dick's. And I think that's from the time when a lot of stolen valor was going around. And a guy from Redstone called me at Dick's when it was over on 72. He said, hey, you can't wear it. And I told him, I said, I got every right to wear it. He said, no. And he's like, he kept getting closer. I was like, whoa, man. I said, you touch his hat. I said, we'll beat you all the way from here to Huntsville. He said, you're going to be having fun doing it. I said, dude, I will headbutt you from here to Huntsville. I said, but you're not touching his hat. I said, if you give me a minute, let me explain. I said, instead, stop reaching for it. I said, I'm going to throw you a beating. And finally, when he calmed down, I was like, this is why, I wear it. I wear it in pride. Those guys are very humble men, but they will do anything it takes to protect this country. I'm honored that Dave was part of it. Like a lot of them, they call him Captain America. He hated it.
I could tell. Yeah, he could. Yeah.
But David carried a small flag under his battle armor every time he went. His daughter's got it now.
Oh.
So they called him Captain America.
I'm sure there's some sarcastic tone to that too, just to piss him off a little more, maybe.
Well, I mean, he was an elite.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I know if I called him Captain America, he'd be like, "Fuck you."
Exactly. But and then you talking about firearms. The only thing I've ever seen Dave walk away from was a 12-gauge shotgun shooting slugs.
Dude, I fucking hate those.
He was sitting prone. He was going to hit deer hunt with him. And he shoots maybe 3 rounds out of it at a milk jug at 50 yards. He's like, I'm done. I was like, dude, you have never backed away. He's like, you run you a little bit of lead through that. I'm like, nope. I said, if I see you back away from it, I said, I don't want no part of it.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories about him is when we were on our senior trip, and I brought a couple of Speedos with me, a couple of men's Speedos. And, because I had a bunch of swimsuits. So I just asked some guys on the team, I was like, hey, you guys got some extra swimsuits? So this is the tiny little Speedos that the guys used to wear in competition. So I grabbed a couple of those, take them to the senior trip, and I gave him a dare, not thinking he'd actually do it. Hey, here, put the swimsuit on and go. I dare you to go run on the damn beach with a swimsuit. And I mean, his balls were damn near out of that thing. His ass crack was out of it because he was the tiniest. I think it was like, for those that knew, it was like a 22. It was like a kid size, basically. And he did. He ran up and down I don't know how that suit survived. It was clinging on for dear life. But, and then he came back only to then vomit. He was trying to, for some reason, vomit between the deck boards. And I'm like, why don't you just go the toilet is right there. But he's just like dedicated to vomiting because we were drinking some shit liquor like Everclear or something, Ooh. He's just, he was bad. He's just trying to puke. He's like, no, it's good. I've got it. Trying to puke between the deck boards. I'm like, all right, man. He just slept there, I think, the rest of the night.
Jimmy's the one that ran with him in the other Speedos.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. Jimmy was up for it, too. And I knew Jimmy. I was just never real close to him. Because, again, I spent my time mostly in the pool most of the time growing up. The only one that really understood that was Dave. And then, so we would make time for our friendship, whereas a lot of times it's hard to do that for other people. And honestly, I don't know how Dave was able to do it either, because I feel like he was working out just as much as I was at the time,
Because his schedule would be get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go run 5 miles, go to the Patrick workout, go to school, go to Walmart and work.
Oh, yeah, because I'd get him in trouble at Walmart all the damn time.
And then come home, run 5 miles, and go to bed and do it all over again.
See, I don't know how I don't know. I mean, he did really good at maintaining friendships, so hats off to him, because I don't know how he was able to do that and fit that in his schedule. That's something people don't talk a lot about, is if you're so dedicated to a cause and something that you're trying to work towards, it is infinitely more difficult to maintain good friendships, because people feel like you don't have time for them, when really you're just like, I'm really trying to work towards something, especially at that age. Like, that is a hard concept to digest, So
that's why, like I said, I never. Now, if he asked me if I want to go to Patrick and work out, I'd work out with him. But as far as, like I said, run outs, I'm not holding you back, dude. So. Again, he'd come and say, "You'll go run?" I was like, "I'm not running your pace." Because last time I ran your pace, I said I almost didn't make it. It was just a mile.
He was fast, yeah.
So I told him, I said, "Which way we want to go?" I said, "We'll go down in the road. We'll just do a mile."
Mm-hmm.
So there was this big Pyrenees, and Dave's running. I'm watching. I could see him. He's running, and all of a sudden I see this big old Pyrenees come out at the end of the road, and he's yelling, "Get back in the yard!" And all of a sudden it comes out there, and I see him go, wham! Right there on top of the dog's head.
Oh, and jump on it?
Yeah, he just like slams it. It looks like a pitcher. His that back leg kicked up.
Yeah.
Just, boom! Her dog just yelp. I'm like, I bet that didn't go well. He comes around, good to go.
Good for him. I don't fuck with dogs, man. They scare the shit out of me.
Oh, I don't either. He's like, dog needed it.
Yeah. Maybe it won't come at you next time. Oof. So when how old was Dave when he passed?
30.
Okay. I mean, we're close in age. I just can't remember. I can't do math, apparently. And the older I get, the less I can do math, because I don't ever do it.
Well, for me, it's like I remember dates really well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was 30.
Do you think that he would still have chosen the path that he did if he had known that it would end at 30?
I think he would have come up because he wanted to make a change. He wanted to do something. That's the reason why he went into the last team that he went into, because he was an anti-terrorist. He wanted to make a difference.
Do you think, and also, again, my knowledge base is minuscule in comparison to that team. It's minuscule in comparison to the teams that I was a part of, but do you think that he kept on feeling the need to up the ante? You know what I mean? Like to up what he had done before and surpass it. Like, okay, he did this team and he completed these tasks. What else can I do to continually up it? Or do you think that there was a goal that he had that he was hoping to reach?
I think that last team was that was where he wanted to be. Because I remember when he said he called it the green team. He says, I'm trying to get ready for the green team. And I'm like, okay. He said, it's harder than buds. I'm like, what can be harder than what you went through for 6 months? And then if you ever pull them up, they are like the top tier. They're the best of the best teams. They get different. They get treated different. They're your top tier guys. And I think that I know a couple of times he threw it across. He says, "Yeah, I might want to go overseas and maybe be a merc or, And I'm like, "So okay, you do that."
What do you think he would have done if he had stayed? Do you think he would have tried to go be an instructor or
not be a desk jockey?
Yeah.
So I mean, he would probably. He was already their hand-to-hand combat trainer. But yeah, he was gonna make a career out of it.
I feel like if you stay in anything long enough, though, you end up being a desk jockey. I feel like at some point, that's part of it. Granted, I guess you can retire out at 20 there, so it's but still, it's. I'm glad that he seemed continually happy with his decisions because I can't think of anything else that he was so set on than make it in the SEALs. And what's funny is he didn't talk about it all the time. You know how people, like, when they really got a goal in mind, they're like, fuck yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And they talk about it, like, religiously. Like, you knew if you asked him, but it wasn't something that he led with in conversation all the time. It was just he had to train or something like that. Like, it didn't lead his personality,
well, those
going into it.
Those guys kept a lot of stuff quiet.
Yeah.
Like I said, they were, they didn't care that. Like I said, we'll take the medal. When they got it from, President Obama, they was like, we didn't want it. We just wanted to come home, settle back down and do our jobs. He said, we didn't ask for nothing. He said, but he insisted. So he's like.
I mean, even though people like that and like him and other people I know don't want those awards and those accolades, I mean, I think it is also a disservice not to give them. I'm not saying you got to do the fanfare and stuff, but just to give a thank you, especially to those that maybe think they don't deserve it or don't want it. Maybe those ones are the ones that need it the most. And then even if they don't need it, maybe it's good for the family to have it, after they pass or, after whatever, to pass down through the generations. So I don't know. Sometimes when somebody's more like, no, don't give it to me, then cool, I'm just going to slide another table in it here. But between us, you got this because you did good. I found that the people that usually want the accolades and awards are usually the ones that don't fucking deserve them,
But I asked him, I said, what is your rank? I knew Army ranks. He says, man, I ain't worried about rank. He said, I could have been this, and this, but I chose to train. He said, I could have been Master Chief long time ago, but my worry was about putting more stuff that I could do. And that's what they said. Anything that he could go to, he was off. But it was like one of his buddies was like, so when they jumped his ashes, one of his buddies.
When they what?
So.
You say jumped?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. I didn't get to see it. They were supposed to do it when we were there but the weather was not favorable.
Okay.
So he asked, some of his buddies to jump his ashes. But one of his best friends, the one that took the shotgun, skeet shooting, he says, I'm not qualified in that airplane. I said, airplane's an airplane. I said, it's got a motor. It's got wings. He said, I wish
I will not be saying that to anybody if I'm going to be in the airplane.
But I'm like, for a jump,
yeah.
Other than like your Halo, but a jump is a jump. He said, but I'm not certified in this plane. I'm like, dude.
So he didn't do it. Somebody else did?
I don't know because I had to do it later and we couldn't make it back to Virginia to witness it. But we got to go see the memorial was, so they've got a lot of stuff from the World Trade Center. It's really cool. And it's one of it.
I've heard, yeah.
It looks like a trident. So they sent it to that area. And what was weird was the commanding officer was talking. And he said, yeah, as I walk across the bridge and We're sitting there riding with the team members are driving us, and all of a sudden, I sat down for a second, and I heard the waves crash, and I was calm after that. I had like a calming, like everything was okay.
After he passed, how was the reception really good? Did you guys feel like that was a good concluding respectful event for him?
It was. I felt bad for one of his team members that read the last letter to his daughter.
That would have been hard to read.
And then they asked me, said, I said, no. I said, if it's not in his will or asked his last request, no. I said, I'll do whatever. I said, I'll bend over backwards for that guy. You can ask his friends. I said, anything in high school. He wanted it. I got it for him. I said, whatever he wanted, they've got it. If I had the money for it.
Yeah.
I said, he knew it. And, but he's like, I said, no, I'm good. I said, y'all were his brothers? I said, I'm good.
And obviously, I've already told you I didn't get to make it out that way because I was, that was a week before my kid was due, so I was pregnant as shit. And I'd heard, well, Trisha had called me and told me, and so my brother went out there and he was able to make it, but he said that it was he felt that it was very respectful, and being in the military and stuff, I know that they have to do this stuff and then they do it in a very professional manner. I was just curious from a brother's perspective, did it help you kind of close that chapter emotionally to be like, okay, now I can move through another process of grieving or what have you?
Oh yeah, like I said, the team guys were like the best part of it, but they were always around, constantly, and it was just weird that the stuff that David told me said, yeah, they said you'd be like that. I was like, what?
Yeah, he talked about you. He talked about you to me often as well. So I think that he's so humble with his communication that we, his friend, and especially I imagine as his brother, don't think that he talks about you as much as he did because he wouldn't tell you. But he did. He brought you up quite a bit. I mean, I've got communications that I've saved and you're in there. So just so you know.
Well, I mean, I know it's like, I don't remember if you remember Amber. So a guy that David I hung out with for a little bit, he worked out with him too. I don't know what happened, what switched, but for the longest, he would say that Dave was embarrassed by me. So I quit hanging around him. Well, the last time that Dave was going to go over to Amber's house, and he said, he's going to be over there. I was like, I'm good. He said, what's your beef with him? But to keep from escalating a situation, I didn't say nothing. So I said, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
He said, what is your beef? I said, no, I don't want to go. Well, I found out Dave come home and said, you ain't going to worry about him no more. I go, what? Well, then Amber, I seen her at a funeral. And she said, did your brother ever tell you what he did to, I was like, nope. He said, well, we hung over and then I asked where you were at. Dave said he didn't want to go. Well, the other guy that he ran off said it good. I didn't want him over here no ways. Got to run his mouth. Amber said, I'd never seen your brother grabbed him by the collar and choked him against the wall and told him, he said, if you ever talk to him about like that again, I will eliminate you. He's now living in North Carolina.
So be someone in my fucking state.
But I don't, if it's a conflict like that big, I was like, I'm not going to involve it. It's going to cost me and him battling it out. I said, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I know we had a couple of times at paintball, and I would, there's ways to get around. You fight your battles.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave was not afraid to step up.
I think that was the only time I was ever like, fuck, we might get into trouble, because I always had to leave school early to go swimming, but I'd stayed late one day, and I don't remember even who it was, but he had beef with somebody, and we were in a school parking lot, high school parking lot, and he jumped over the hood of my car, which was a Dodge Neon, so it was this little hood, right? Little car. But he still jumped over that thing. I thought he was going to dent it, and went straight for a dude and grabbed him. And that was the first time I'd ever seen, because I'd never seen David angry. Like, and I always call him David. I know a lot of people I don't know why, but I'd never seen him angry really before. And that was the first time I was like, oh shit. And the other guy, backed down, but you could tell it was a measured response. Like, he knew. Like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna fucking deal with this. And he dealt with it, and that was back in the day where there were no repercussions if nobody said something. So you're just like, all right, and just walk away. You can't do that shit nowadays. But yeah, he had very measured responses, even as a 17, 18-year-old, which is unheard of. Going back to the whole aspect of, I feel like I keep bringing it down, but these are the questions that I got. So
I'm sorry, I went out of.
You can go out of whatever field you want to go out of. That's how these conversations go, especially because I'm I usually jump subjects all the damn time myself. Is there something he had some, I guess he had some prep into it, but do you think there was anything with what happened to him and the different cancers? Do you think any of it was, there were any contributing factors from his career?
Yep.
And what and why?
They were using experimental mics, and he's not the only one that this happened to.
He's not the
My sister, his wife had said that he is not the only one that this has happened to.
How long was he using that mic for?
Honestly, I don't know. Because, like I said, he's done quite a few ops.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, before he was 30, he'd already done 10 times overseas.
What's the average, you think, for people, if you're in there for as long as he was?
Honestly, I don't know. But I know his first one was the longest, and after that, it started being like 6 months at a time. It started being like shorter. But his first one, I know they went all the way across over Europe and stuff like that. Because he was talking about doing Oktoberfest in Germany, and
yeah, he sent pictures of that.
So, and talking about being over in Poland, but
that's just, have they changed the mics? Have they corrected the problem?
I don't know. His wife tries to keep it up with it, but she said he's not the only one that this is affected.
Did he know?
Nope. The headaches is what gave it off when he was overseas.
I mean, did he think that there was a contributing factor, or did he just think, oh, this is just what I was dealt?
Probably that. But he, knowing him, he's just going to use what he's told to use.
Yeah.
And no questions asked.
I know that you said he'd never be a that he would never take a desk, but what do you think that he would be doing today if he was still alive?
Probably training, or probably giving new recruits hell.
I was gonna say, because he could have retired already, but yeah. You think he would have?
I don't know. I kind of threw it at him right there. He says, make a career out of it. So I'm like, it's just whatever your life, just happy for whatever you choose to do, buddy.
Yeah. Somebody that's getting to that career field being Hispanic, or anybody in a career field where it can end, quickly, or with him, he had some idea of preparation, but is there something that we need to do that you think that maybe they're dropping the ball on in preparation of something tragic happening?
I don't think anything was dropped, but he was very well taken care of, because I know when mom and dad went to see him, he was up with the generals. That's how well thought of that they were with the team members. Yeah, he got like best service.
Good.
His commanding officers were amazing.
That's refreshing to hear, because I know in the first responder realm, they're not so good at that stuff. They drop a lot of balls when it comes to death on line of duty or just death in general. So obviously, military is a lot better with a lot of that stuff. So I'm glad to hear that it seems like preparation wise and afterwards it was good, because nobody should be worrying about that fucking shit in the middle of all that stuff, you know? Like, everything should be laid out. You should know what you're getting into, what's going on, so you can actually process your emotions, grieve, do whatever the hell you need to do. So I am freaking glad that at least I know he would be too, that all that shit went smoothly as it could in a fucking shit situation. But I guess that's also up to the individual. Knowing David, he was probably pretty damn prepared.
Yeah.
Was there anything that surprised you about his will or anything where you were kind of like, wow, that gave you more insight into him?
No, like I said, he was a family man. He wanted to make sure that his daughter's well taken care of. I mean,
Good.
they kept her in private school. That was upon his wishes. He'll make sure that when she gets out, she can go to any college she wants to.
Good.
His wife, that's still kind of a battle for her, but she's still fighting like going to DC and still fighting for like women getting their deceased husbands some of their stuff. But I mean, she's fighting for it, and I think she's very close. But as far as like,
I've never met her, but she sounds really strong and awesome.
Oh,
Sounds like a woman I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's very, yeah.
We'll have 2 more questions for you if you're good with it.
All right.
So they're duality questions. One is, what do you want people to remember about Dave? And secondly, what do you think Dave wants to be remembered by?
I mean, the way Dave is right now is, I mean, how I wanted him to be remembered is a great soldier, somebody who was not afraid to stand up for stuff around, stuff that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
His courage, his training to be a better man, to better what's going on in today's society, to be a humble man and do it without anybody knowing. So eliminating the threat without anybody knowing.
So he would hate this podcast.
Probably, but since y'all are friends,
yeah,
he would probably. But like I said, I mean,
I enjoy if he would hate this. I'd be like, hell yeah, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous about it at first because I didn't know if I would do him justice. Because I mean, knowing him, well, I mean, being my brother,
yeah,
I mean, and stuff that we got into,
yeah,
is just I'll make sure that I did him justice.
I think that whatever you need to say about him and whatever you feel about him and want to say about him is justice. I don't know how to say it properly, I guess, but I think at this point, you get to feel and express whatever you want to about him, and it's not wrong. So, but God, 30 seems so fucking young.
Yep.
I mean, it is young, but at the time, when you turn 30, you're like, God, I'm getting old, but Jesus. It's so fucking young. Well, that's all the formal questions that I had for you. Formal, meaning that we're not fucking formal at all, but what do you think David want to say? If not that he'd ever be on this fucking podcast, but what do you think he'd say today?
Probably not want to be on it.
No, definitely not. He'd fucking hate it.
But like I said, since y'all were such good friends, and he'd be short and to the point.
I would have hated to have to interview his ass. Although he did give me tips before when I was taking my police polygraph. he was like, hey, Tess, this is what you need to do.
That's
Not that I had shit to hide, but still.
Well, that's what I mean. He was even telling me stuff like that. I'm like, what are you saying, dude?
But no, he was good people. One of the best people I'll ever get the honor of knowing. So thank you for continually bullying him throughout so he could make it through buds and good bullying. See, like my older sister did to me. So.
If not, I'm gonna push you around. I'm gonna make you want to quit. But Lincoln County is so stupid that they don't want him.
Yeah, I don't.
We've tried out for multiple teams. They don't want him. And I told him, I said, the way I tell David, I said, you want it, you go for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck all.
I said, screw them. I said, they're gonna try making you, they're gonna try bullying you to make you stop, but you don't let them.
It's when you know that you're either good or you're about to make change is when you get some blowback.
So,
yeah, screw it. All right, last thing then. Is there anything with, because, I put show notes and everything in this, is there any kind of either charity or things you want to give a shout out to? Anything that you think is particularly awesome that people should help out with or donate to when it comes to this community?
The Navy SEAL Foundation.
Okay.
Because what it does is it gives for people that when the team members are overseas, they give to the wives for groceries and stuff that they need while their husbands or whatnot are overseas. So the Navy SEAL Foundation gives back to the community. They help with the in-service one. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll find him and I'll put a link down in case anybody wants to donate or give to them. Anybody else that you want to mention?
Honestly, I can't think of any other. His wife would know a lot more. But right now, I said the Navy SEAL Foundation is, and when I found out what they do, that is amazing because they help out all the mothers and children, the kids and.
Good. As they should. That's awesome. All right. Well, I'll put them down on the show notes. And again, is there anything that I failed to mention that you want to expound on?
No. And I apologize if I went all around.
Oh, dude. So many people that listen to this thing are ADHD anyways. It comes along with the community for the most part. So if it's not a spiderweb of a discussion, they won't be able to follow it. They can't be linear. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and that we have shown him some kind of respect with this episode that he deserves and that his family appreciates it as well. Thank you, Chris, for coming on and doing this. It means a lot to me that you're willing to come on and talk. And if there's one thing that David has taught us, it's that quitting is a freaking luxury and not one that you should embrace in your daily life. If you get up and don't want to freaking do it, or if studying gets too difficult, or if the process gets too hard, good. Because it means there's less people doing it, and it means you're probably at the precipice of change in a good way. All right, you guys have a freaking phenomenal week, and I will see you soon, or talk to you soon. I'm going to do a lot of those video podcasts.